the year that can transform your life. Imagine looking back on the last day of 2025 and feeling truly fulfilled. Your goals achieved, your life transformed, and that unmistakable sense of pride for not giving up. Does it sound like a dream? It might, but it's a dream you have the power to make a reality. The question is, are you ready to take the first step? Many people wait for the perfect moment, but what if the perfect moment is now? This is the year to stop waiting and start building. What's holding you back from taking action? Let's explore how believing in yourself, planning strategically, and acting with determination can turn 2025 into the year you've always dreamed of. The first stone: believing in the possible. The first step to transforming your life in 2025 is simple yet incredibly powerful: believing it's possible. It may sound cliché, but the truth is that our minds are the soil where everything begins. Without the belief that you can achieve something, even the clearest opportunities will go unnoticed. However, believing is not just about positive thinking. It's a daily practice that shapes how you view and interact with the world. Think of a builder about to construct a great building. He doesn't start by randomly piling up bricks, but with the confidence that each piece placed has a purpose in the final project. Similarly, believing in your goals means mentally preparing the groundwork so that every action, no matter how small, aligns with your larger objective. For many, the act of believing is challenging because it's easy to fall victim to limiting thoughts. Maybe you've thought, "I'm not good enough," or "this isn't for me." These beliefs are like anchors that keep you stuck in the same place. But the good news is that they can be replaced. When you start affirming to yourself that you are capable, your mind seeks evidence to support this new narrative. It doesn't happen overnight, but with consistency. The science of neuroplasticity shows that the brain is malleable and adapts to new ways of thinking. So, if you train your mind to believe in possibilities, you are literally reprogramming your brain to recognize opportunities and overcome challenges. A classic example is the story of people who changed their lives by adopting daily affirmations. Writing phrases like, "I am capable of achieving my goals," and repeating them often may seem like a small action, but it has a profound impact. When you believe in what's possible, you begin to see obstacles as stepping stones. That rejection that once seemed like an end becomes a learning opportunity. Criticism stops being a personal attack and turns into an invitation to improve. Life ceases to be a series of random events and becomes a field of opportunities. However, believing requires courage. It's easier to doubt because doubt requires no effort. It's the comfort zone of the mind. Believing, on the other hand, demands confrontation. It requires you to look at your flaws and say, "This doesn't define me." It means letting go of the fear of failure and embracing growth. That's why faith, whether in yourself, in God, or in a greater purpose, is such a transformative force. The practice of believing must be supported by action. It's like planting a seed. You need to water it to make it grow. Write down your goals, visualize yourself achieving them, and most importantly, act as if success is already on its way. When you internalize this mindset, incredible things begin to happen. Small victories appear, and together, they create a wave of progress that propels you even further. So, make a commitment to yourself. Every day, remind yourself that the impossible is just something that hasn't been tried yet. Visualize the end of 2025 as the year you broke barriers, overcame doubts, and built the life you've always desired. Believing is the first stone on this path, and you're ready to place it. The power of focus. One goal, one purpose. In a world full of distractions, focus has become a rare skill, almost a superpower. The second key to turning 2025 into an extraordinary year is learning to concentrate your energy on one clear goal. While it may be tempting to embrace multiple objectives, a lack of focus can scatter your energy and prevent you from achieving any of them. The power of focus lies in the ability to say no to what doesn't matter so you can say yes to what truly does. Imagine the light of a flashlight compared to a laser. Both emit energy, but while the flashlight illuminates broadly, The laser concentrates its power on a single point, making it strong enough to cut through steel. That's how focus works. It transforms scattered energy into directed force, capable of overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Defining a single primary goal is the first step. This goal must be specific, measurable, and meaningful. It's not enough to say, "I want to improve my life in 2025. That's vague and easy to forget. Instead, say, "I want to lose 30 pounds by August by exercising 3 times a week and adopting a balanced diet." Or, "I want to save 10% of my monthly income to invest in a professional certification by the end of the year." These goals leave no room for ambiguity, and because they are clear, they become consistent guides for your daily actions. Focusing on one goal doesn't mean ignoring other areas of life, but prioritizing what matters most. When you choose a primary goal, something fascinating happens. Other areas start to align. For example, by deciding to improve your physical health, you may notice a positive impact on your mental health and productivity at work. This occurs because progress in one area creates a domino effect, where small victories fuel other parts of your life. But focus also requires discipline. We live in an era of constant stimuli: phone notifications, unexpected demands, and the temptation to compare our lives with others. To protect your focus, it's essential to create a conducive environment. This might mean turning off notifications, setting specific times for important tasks, and avoiding the trap of trying to do everything at once. Multitasking, despite seeming efficient, is often an enemy of real progress. A crucial point about focus is committing to the long term. Many people start the year motivated but abandon their goals at the first sign of difficulty. True focus requires perseverance, the ability to keep going even when the initial excitement fades. In those moments, you must remember the why behind your goal. Ask yourself, "Why does this matter to me?" Maintaining that clarity will help you face inevitable challenges. Moreover, focus isn't something you achieve once and maintain forever. It's a daily effort. Each morning, you need to reaffirm your priority. Spend a few minutes reviewing your goal and planning what you'll do that day to move closer to it. Consistent small steps are more effective than sporadic grand attempts. Finally, be patient with yourself. Progress is rarely linear. There will be days when you feel unstoppable and others when everything seems against you. The key is not giving up. Remember, even if you advance only an inch, you're still closer to your goal than you were yesterday. When 2025 comes to an end, you'll feel proud to look back and see not only what you achieved, but also the person you became along the way. Focus not only transforms goals into reality, but also changes how you approach and face life. Choose your goal, hold on to your purpose, and let focus be your compass for an extraordinary year. Move forward despite fear, the magic of action. Fear is an inevitable companion on any journey of transformation. It shows up the moment you decide to step out of your comfort zone and into unfamiliar territory. For many, fear is a signal to retreat, but in truth, it's an invitation to grow. The third step to making 2025 an extraordinary year is learning to move forward, even when fear is present. Because, in reality, it's through action that the magic happens. Think of fear as a gate separating you from the life you desire. To cross it, you don't need to eliminate it, but face it. Often, we wait for a moment when we'll feel completely confident to act, but that feeling rarely comes. Confidence is not the starting point. It's the result of repeatedly acting, even when we feel uncertain. Moving forward despite fear requires a shift in perspective. Instead of seeing fear as an enemy, view it as an indicator that you're on the right path. If something scares you, it's likely important. Big dreams always carry a dose of uncertainty, but also the promise of growth and fulfillment. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding out of fear of failure? And what if failure is just a lesson preparing me for success? The secret to overcoming fear is to start small. Action doesn't need to be perfect, but it does need to happen. Often, the first step feels the hardest, but it's also the most liberating. Imagine standing in front of a cold pool. The thought of diving in might feel uncomfortable, but as soon as you enter the water, you realize the initial impact quickly fades. The same applies to any challenge. The first action is always the scariest, but it unlocks everything else. Action also has a cumulative effect. Each small step generates momentum, and momentum makes subsequent steps easier. For example, suppose you want to start a new business but feel paralyzed by doubt. Instead of trying to plan every detail, start with something simple. Write down your ideas, talk to a mentor, or do a small market research. These small advances build confidence and clarity, transforming initial fear into creative energy. It's also important to remember that fear is not an indication of imminent failure but of growth. When you move forward despite doubt, you discover strengths you didn't know you had. It's through this process that you develop resilience, an essential skill for achieving any major goal. With every obstacle overcome, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than you thought. Another vital aspect is accepting that failure is part of the journey. No one succeeds every time, and mistakes are not the end of the line but stepping stones for learning. When you embrace this truth, the fear of failure loses its power to paralyze you. Instead of worrying about what might go wrong, focus on what you can learn and how you can adjust your course. Finally, moving forward despite fear cultivates one of the most powerful skills there is: courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act despite it. And it's this courage that will take you further than you ever imagined. When December 2025 arrives, you'll see that fear was just a detail in your journey. What will truly matter are the actions you took, the steps you made, and the achievements you realized. The magic of action lies in transforming dreams into reality, and it all begins with the willingness to move forward, even when your heart is racing. After all, it's in overcoming fear that we discover our true potential.